But the big thing about it is that Shasha Forbes did not make the qualifying standard mark in the 200 meters. Yes, so the qualifying standard mark is 22.60 seconds, to make it to the World Championships. And she ran so far for the season 22.84 seconds. So J3 is announced her as part of the list, I suppose, in hopes of her potentially, making that time or getting that time to represent Jamaica, but it didn't, materialize at the end of the day. And I think the cutoff date, if I'm not mistaken, was, the 31st. And didn't they put out the list after that? Were they trying to pull a fast one?
Unbelievable! He's done it again! Tom the Hero wins 10-6-0 Olympic record! Whoa! Corey got a bit Devin started on his third. Corey really taking it off. Corey, that's Corey number. Another goal. The legacy as one of the all-time greats is surely complete. The Olympic champion becomes the world champion. The defending champion comes back and wins again in supreme style.
Hey Trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Now with that said, Trackies, Ashanti Moore gets her first shot at repping Team Jamaica in Budapest. Yay! Congratulations to her. Now of course, Ashanti Moore has been having a blast of a season. Now of course, she was always one to look out for from the junior ranks, but this year she really came on and she's like, look here, I'm back and I'm ready, to challenge the big girls. And she did so. She got personal best all the way down to 11.06 seconds in the women's 100 meters. And of course, in the women's 200 meters, she ran 22.49 seconds. So let's talk about, Ashanti Moore representing Team Jamaica. She'll be representing us in the 200 meters. Now, how did this happen? Clearly, she was not a part of the conversation, at all. Even after, official lists, were revealed, she wasn't, being considered. So, let's talk about, what happened. All right. So leading into our Jamaican senior championships, we did our own little preview here and we talked about the, the females to look out for. And one of the females, of course, was definitely Ashanti Moore. She came in with the fourth fastest time, for Jamaicans, so far, 22.49, as I said. So for me personally, she was definitely, an eye or one to look out for, to potentially clinch a spot on the team to Budapest. So remember, she has run 22.49 seconds. Now I did say, remember, she had an absolutely phenomenal run in the women's 100 meters, making it all the way to the finals and placing sixth, just a smidget behind Elaine Thompson here, because she actually ran the same time. Elaine ran 11.06 and she ran 11.06, only to be separated by the thousandth of a second, right? So she had a phenomenal, run in that women's 100 meters. Then she headed off over in the 200 meters. Unfortunately, her run in the 200 was cut short. She didn't make it, out of the preliminary rounds. And listen, Jamaica only had 2 rounds. We had semifinals and we had finals. And for me personally, it was understandable because she did absolutely phenomenal in the 100 meters. It seems as though she was a bit tired and, her leg just couldn't take her through the rest of the runs for the 200 meters. So with that said, it was thought as though, her chances were cut short. But for me personally, I was still eyeing, the 4x1. I was like, all right, here what? We can't, put 2 teams in that 4x1. Remember, Jamaica can select 8 people. A lot of y'all always attack me when I talk about this 8. Well, we can. So if we can, why not? You know what I mean? So she was also, selected as part of my 4x1 team, potentially, to head off to Budapest. But that dream was also cut short when J3 is announced, the official list heading into Budapest. And yeah, they only selected 6 people in the relay. So, there was no opportunity for Ashanti Moore there. And at that time also, there was a big question mark surrounding, the women's 200 meters. Not only was, the concern whether or not Shelly would be taking up her spot. We were over here, Shelly's going, she's not going, she's going, she's not going. So we didn't really know what was happening. And then, of course, there was a concern with Lene, whether or not she'll be able to get clearance in time to represent, of course, Team Jamaica in the 200 meters. And as such, Kevona Davis was slotted in, and of course, Shashali Forbes. For me, it didn't really raise any red flags at the time because, again, for me personally, I was just saying, okay, these girls are good. This is where, they placed in the finals, in the 200 meters at our championship. So if they're the next people up, no problem. Y'all can go, right? But the big thing about it is that Shashali Forbes did not make the qualifying standard mark in the 200 meters. Yes, so the qualifying standard mark is 22.60 seconds, to make it to the World Championships. And she ran so far for the season 22.84 seconds. So J3 is announced her as part of the list, I suppose, in hopes of her potentially, making that time or getting that time to represent Jamaica, but it didn't, materialize at the end of the day. And I think the cutoff date, if I'm not mistaken, was, the 31st. And didn't they put out the list after that? Were they trying to pull a fast one? I'm not sure. But anyway, let's keep it pushing, right? So with that said, clearly we would still, need to put someone in that slot because, Shashali Forbes did not meet the qualifying standard. And the next person up, clearly, again, Ashanti Moore would be the next person up, making the qualifying standard to represent Jamaica. Yes. So when you look at the athletes that, that have performed for Jamaica so far this season, only, yes, and I'm going to say this, only 5 of them have met the standard. I'm saying Sherika Jackson is one, Shelly-Ann Fraser Pryce is one, Kevona Davis is one, and we have Natalia White and Ashanti Moore. Only those 5 made the qualifying standard. Sherika Jackson at 21.71, Shelly-Ann Fraser Pryce at 22.26. Then we had, Kevona Davis at 22.33. Then we had Natalia White at 22.39 and Ashanti Moore at 22.49. Also, Laneta Vade Thomas did make the qualifying standard. Unfortunately, as I said, she met with, issues of clearance to represent Team Jamaica. So clearly, with only one other option left, Sharika is going already. Kevona is going already. She made the final. Natalia is going, because she also made the final, plus qualified, in one of the spots to represent Jamaica. So the only other person is Ashanti Moore. And yes, she has been selected to represent Team Jamaica in Shelly's spot to go to Budapest. So yeah. Congratulations to Ashanti Moore. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole story of her, making it to her first, world championships, senior world championships. Yeah, this is a big deal. I can't wait to see our girls out there step to the track and represent, as I said. Trackies, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Ashanti Moore getting her first berth at the world championships. Like the video and subscribe. I'll catch you in a next one. Bye.